Everybody, welcome to the B-complex studio. We have a open day in our venue, New Cvernovka, and excuse me for switching to English right now because we have a very special guest on a video chat with us. Welcome, Ill-Esha.
Hello.
And that's it. Goodbye. Ill-Esha is my very good friend, and where to start? You are a singer, producer, pioneer when it comes to progressing music and its evolvement at the moment with NFT and crypto waves, if I'm right. You are also a professor at the university in Spain, in Valencia, if I'm not mistaken.
I was until a couple months ago, yes.
Yeah. So it's definitely the best person to headline our 20th of May party that is set in the future, which is Bratislava 2077. So it's been a while. We had you back in 2006, if I'm not mistaken, right, in Subclub?
Yeah, it was still one of the best experiences. I really loved playing with you, and I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, what are your memories from Slovakia? How did you enjoy it?
I mean, I just remember having one of the coolest drum and bass parties in the sub club, being underground, having such a great vibe. It was like the whole party was together, and sometimes you miss that in certain shows, but I just remember everything feeling super tight and everybody on the same page. And so it was a
Yeah,
great
I have to say
experience.
it was a special performance as well because Elisha was not only playing from vinyls and doing a banger set, but she also was singing live, which maybe now is something that, for example, Coven is doing, but you were definitely way ahead of this with your own music and your performances. So it was really, really great experience for us as well. And it was really funny because it was just the year when Hostel came out, the movie,
Yes.
and we were joking that we will pay you or you will pay us with your kidney. So
Yeah, well, that's what Slovakia looked like to me at the time. I said, "Where are you taking me?" And you said, "I don't know. How good are your organs?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully yours is better because we will harvest them. So yeah, it's been a while, and I think Bratislava also changed since, and I'm looking forward to show you around because it's still some time since then, and we will try to escape to the future at our event because of all the shit that is happening right now around the world and especially on our border actually with Ukraine. So beside DJ Meja, who just finished his show, who is from Ukraine, we will also have you as an international talent, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, when we are talking about future, what can you tell us about your Crypto Waves project?
Well, I guess I've been always been interested in technology and music and how they come together. Like, what are new ways that we can express ourselves? And when I first started getting into Web3 and learning about crypto, I noticed that the graphs of the charts, they look like sound waves. And so I had the thought, what does it sound like? What does this crypto token sound like? What is the other one? And I went down this rabbit hole of sound design and made an EP where all the sounds are made from these wavetables, from pictures of what certain coins were doing in the finance market, and that kind of just gave me another way to create music. I've always been very emotional, but now there's a way to sort of take that emotion and mix it with technology inspiration and transcoding one type of data into another, which is what we do with digital audio all the time. So this is just another type of input.
Yeah, it's always like you can limit yourself in a way and then find the new roads that it will lead you to. Because if you do the things the same way you did it always, you end up doing pretty similar stuff. So to keep your mind open, it's definitely way to go. So I'm really looking forward, and it maybe helped you to get your releases on Ninja Tunes as well. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, well, I've actually been always inspired by the music of Ninja Tune. A lot of artists like Eamon Tobin, Bonobo are some of my favorites of all time. And I just had the fortune to start working with them in technology, in production music. I did some sounds for their apps. I did some licensing music for film and TV on their side, and then started working with Matt Black, where he invited me to collaborate and then to release some of my own contributions. Recently, I did a electronic classical ambient piece for a compilation, which was really very cool. And I'm hoping to just keep doing more releases. I think that coming to and living here now has made me more open to exploring all kinds of experimental styles and just, I still love the dance floor, but I love just creating from a pure perspective and just going, what is coming out of me right now? And that's the music I'm making since I've been here and working with Ninja Tune.
Yeah, awesome. And you are in a very good position actually to compare because you started in Canada, moved to USA, and now you're in Europe. Can you try to compare what is different, what is better? What do you prefer, and how it is for you to be in Europe right now?
Well, I mean, I think that in America, the biggest difference is you have this kind of middle class DJ scene of people who are not super famous but not super small, and there's a much bigger group of that. So you have a lot of people who are touring festivals, but they're very busy doing that, and they don't necessarily create. I think in Europe you have scenes that are bigger and smaller more than in the middle, and because of that, there's a lot of great underground experimental genres and people doing their own thing. And so I think, maybe to be honest, like making money as a DJ is a little bit easier if you're not really famous in the US, but being authentic and not being afraid to go in different directions is a little bit better here because there's just so many different cultures and inspirations all going on and collaborating. And, I'm really excited to kind of have my mind opened in new ways. Another big difference is drum and bass in the US is not really a thing, but I know that in Europe it's still very strong and people are still super loyal to it. So I think that some genres are very different in the way that they're received.
Yeah, USA had the EDM movement, right? That kind of steamrolled everything else underneath, and it got so big that eventually it maybe pushed out hip hop as well. And now it moved into trap and other genres as well. But I think in Europe, especially because there are so many small places, small venues all around, that pretty much all the scenes survive at the same time. Even if some got bigger and some smaller, there are still places where it lives. And it's also funny because when you mentioned drum and bass, it's like with all new generations, it's kind of like they are rediscovering what we did like 8 or 10 years ago, and now the guys are like, yeah, look at this, and there is a lot of music that sounds like happy hardcore 20 years, 30 years ago, and it's very very popular. Jungle is coming back as well, so it's nice to see the music to be reinvented. So yeah, it's really nice that even a small country like Slovakia developed its own scene. We today had the new project that is Sub FM radio. The guys, my good friend Eric, bought some frequencies, and we will be doing FM radio alongside the streams and digitals and so on. And
Cool.
when I booked you, I was so happy that we will see each other. But I also realized that you're probably the best headliner for cyberpunk kind of event. I think you were always kind of a nerd. So how do you see yourself in this kind of environment and sci-fi and fantasy and so on?
Well, I've always been so fascinated with uniting my brain and my musical technical abilities. So I've always wanted to kind of biohack myself. And I think that you'll hopefully see me always performing with futuristic technology. Maybe I'll be using motion capture instead of DJing, or, singing into an algorithm or that translates that. So I think that I'm a musical cyborg. I really like to fuse my mind and my body with the technology and the generation of sound as much as possible.
We are really looking forward to it. And do you have any ideas that what you will bring over and play 20th of May?
Well, I definitely some weird, more experimental stuff. Maybe a mix of some of the classic tunes that I've released with some newer, weirder stuff in all directions, and hopefully just something that expresses who I am right now, which is new. Definitely things that nobody's heard before, and maybe exclusive new styles.
And that's how it should be, because if you want to be special, all you need is just to be you, because everybody else is taken and it's only you that you can really be. So thank you so much. We are really looking forward to have you 20th of May. Hopefully we will have some time to do some productions together as well, and possibly maybe if you would be up to it, we can try to do some lecture as well if you would feel like
Yeah,
it, or we can visit the radio. We will have enough time to do several of these projects. So everybody who's
look at all
interested
of
to
it.
yeah, hopefully. This was Ill-Esha. You actually have a new name, is that right?
Yeah, not sure if I'm gonna tell it yet, but that some of the new music right here might be stuff
Hmm?
from my new project.
So we will welcome Ill-Esha, and maybe another pseudonym will leave Slovakia. We are really looking forward to have you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I will finish this interview with our collaboration track that is Broken Windows. If you like, you can say a few words about it as well.
Yeah, Broken Windows is really special because this is one of the longest tune releases I've
Definitely.
ever had. I wrote the original song for an album of mine way back, and I actually was a top three finalist in the John Lennon songwriting contest. And so I won some money, and I used that money to buy Serato, and that's how I actually got into digital DJing. But I still wasn't happy with how the song was fully formed, and what to you about it, and we kind of reworked it and turned it into something new. It then went through so many versions, and at one point I thought it wouldn't come out, so it was really, really special to me when it finally came out. And I think it is timeless. I don't think the amount of time Matt have a really good song with a lot of connection and emotion, and that's what we have, so I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, I'm on the same page, and I think that's what all the producers should try to aim to make something genuine and which is not aging with every new synthesizer or new instrument. So I think we managed to capture the emotion, and it's still the same as it was 10 years ago when we started to work on the project. So hopefully in next 10 or a few decades we will have a couple more tracks from Ill-Complex
NEP.
project. So yeah, this was Ill-Esha. Thank you so much, everybody who is
Thank you.
watching. This is B-complex Open Studio, and we will finish the interview with Broken Windows. Enjoy it, and see you soon, Ill-Esha.
Bye.